Hello everyone, welcome back to Maverick Mods. Got another episode of how to ruin your work truck. This would be episode number, who cares? You know, after you repaint your truck, that first dent, first ding, first scratch, that hurts the worst. And I did it. So let's take a look. Well, you know, they always say the first scratch hurts the worst. And in my case, on the shop truck, I got nobody to blame but myself. I did this myself a few months ago. I've kind of been putting this off, fixing this. When I did this, I had the tailgate down, and I was backing up like a dummy and wound up running into a pole. My own dumb shit move. And normally you would say, well, we just pop this back in and away you go. Unfortunately, it really tweaked the hinge and the rods, and basically it just pulled everything out a little bit. I looked at that and said, you know what, there's a couple of other issues that I missed on this when I painted it, a couple of dents, so I'm just going to replace the whole thing. So I searched the local junkyards and found a replacement tailgate that is mostly in pretty good shape. It's got one little dent right here, I think, and there may be another one on the back that I'm actually going to fix this time. And it's got a few kind of right along the top here, which actually the bed liner will cover, but I'm going to fix them anyway. So let's run through real quick and just do a little prep. I've already cleaned, I've already sandblasted it, got most of the exterior old paint off, and I've got a coat of epoxy primer on it. Let's run through and longboard it, start smoothing it down. Let's see where it needs to be fixed. Helps to start with a clean surface. You don't want to grind dirt and debris into the surface you're trying to sand and smooth. Anyway, just using 180 grit paper on a flat board. I'm just going to hit it lightly back and forth. We'll find high spots, low spots, and see where things need to be worked. So let's switch to a block that's a little bit more flexible, but yet is still flat. And I can also hit the contours down in here at the same time. Okay, so what the sanding did with the longboard is it showed me I've got a dent here, obviously, that I need to fill. Another one here. This one, there's just a hint of a high spot. You can just barely feel it where this dent kind of pushed it up a little bit. I don't think that's bad enough for me to actually do anything about it. I think once I fill this, you'll never even notice that. A little bit one right there. This one's deep enough. I might actually come in here and just see if I can't pop that out just a little bit. Over here, just a hint of a high spot. Got just a ding right there. And the rest of this is pretty good back here. And on the surface of the tailgate itself, everything looked good except right here I've got a little depression. Now I'm going to go through and work this dent out just a little bit. After that, we're going to get some Bondo out and do some filling. Now, when it comes to body filler, I'm not against it. I'm not a perfect metal man, so there's old school and there's new school. I'm kind of old school. I used to grind to bare metal and use body filler, Bondo, that's what everybody calls it, Bondo, body filler, same stuff. And then sand it down, prime over it. The new thinking is if you use an epoxy primer, the epoxy's got as much of a bite as the body filler has. So if you Bondo over your substrate, or Bondo over your epoxy primer, then you don't lose any bonding strength, Bondo to metal, but also you can prevent the potential for rust underneath there, because there's always the possibility that you can get rust actually underneath the body filler. So I'm going to try that this time. Like I said, this is kind of a first for me. But in order to do that, I've got to see where my area is. So I'm going to go quite a ways around it, because I've got to sand this depression, and then I won't be able to find it. Over the years, I've been accused of being somewhat disorganized and haphazard, so I'm going to try and fix that. So I've got it lined up as I kind of need it. I've got my body filler, which I've already put one application on the tailgate. I've got some glazing putty. Over the years, I always kind of bought the cheap store-bought stuff that just comes out, red stuff comes out of the tube. Nowadays, I use an actual two-part glazing putty. I think it's just better. It just gives you a better result. If all you can get is the stuff from the parts store, go ahead and use it. But let's see. I ran out of tapes, had to buy some more tape. I got a primer, good 2K primer. That is a primer surfacer. It's not a high build primer. I don't think I'm going to need a high build on this tailgate. The paint store was nice enough to give me some strainers and cups. Always nice to have extras of those. And go through your pile of paint on the shelf and find out that your hardeners and your reducers won't work for the temperature I'm painting today. So go to the parts store or go to the paint store and buy the right ones for the right temperature. And also find out that your last coat of can of paint is empty. Take that with you, because they can get the number off of it and fire up a new set of paint. And finally, if you have leftover pizza for breakfast, wash your hands, because you're going to have oil all over them. So let's get started. I've got 2 coats of primer on the the whole tailgate, on the repaired surfaces. Got one little spot over there I need to work on for a little glazing putty. This looks and feels really nice. I like that. I got one little spot that needs some putty there. Let me get a light. A light always helps. That's good. I have one little spot there, 2 little spots there. Maybe a smidge, yeah, a little bit there. Okay. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hit the whole surface with the DA and probably 320, and then I'll hit the little spots with some glazing putty, and it'll be time for a last coat of primer. Alright, I've got all the spots are sanded. Everything looks good. I'm going to do a final clean wipe down. I've already hit it with wax and grease remover. I'm going to get just some regular, it says spray away glass cleaner. Works really good. Doesn't leave any residue. Okay, I'm going to go over this with tack cloth, mix up some primer surfacer, and we'll hit it again. Last coat of primer, and then we'll go on with color. Alright, almost ready to start the base coat. A few more minutes just to let the sealer flash off a little bit more. I'll go over it with a tack cloth just to get any last minute dust off. It's about to turn blue. It's cold, it's windy, and it's rainy out here, but the repainted replacement tailgate is on. Looks good. One little dent that I just flat missed. And believe me, that torques me to no end. Nothing I can do about it now. Anyway, the work truck is back from purgatory. It has been resurrected and back to the work truck. Well, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks once again for following along with me on my series of how to ruin your work truck. Certainly appreciate everybody watching. If you like this video, think about subscribing. Maybe give me a thumbs up. Share, subscribe, like, notify, all of those things. Everybody, have a great day.